10:36 approaching here at WILK. John Mendola here on a Saturday. Some clouds, a little cooler, but hey, perfect running weather. Let's talk some Dallas cross country here on the show. And the head coach, Matt Samuel, for the cross country team's done a tremendous job with the program for quite some time now. And welcome in, Coach.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Well, getting ready for districts, gearing up each and every year. And if my memory serves me correct, it always rains on that Wednesday. So hopefully we can miss that this year. But let's talk a little bit about this week. Your ladies getting out there and doing a good job, and a pretty successful season once again for Dallas on the ladies' side.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of rain, it seems like we never get out of the rain here. So it's made it quite an interesting season for both the Lackawanna Conference and the Wyoming Valley Conference. But our ladies have been doing pretty well this year. They've, we're not the top team in the conference. We have a very strong conference with a Holy Redeemer team that kind of put us in our place there a little bit at our conference championship meet this week. But we're having a pretty solid season. We're looking to step it up another level here once we get to districts this week. So we've had some good performances along the way. We're kind of just building up. We're taking steps forward every race here, but it's going to be tough competition for sure.
You had a couple ladies finish there in the top spots there, the Wyoming Valley Conference coaches meet. Talk about some of those ladies and how they've been running this year.
Caitlin Hodakowski is a sophomore. Is really just starting to kind of come into her own. She finished, fourth at the conference meet the other day. But it's kind of nip and tuck between her and her teammate Megan Borton. Megan's having another solid season. Starting to kind of turn it on once again towards the end of the season. Both of these girls are. So I'm kind of hoping if they're that they're hitting, and you'll forgive the pun, hitting their stride here at the end of the season as we head into the big championships like districts and states. So in order to get to the state championships and do well down there, obviously you have to do well at districts, and these girls seem to be turning it on at the right time, and hopefully the rest of our team can kind of follow their lead.
We are talking Dallas cross country here on the John Mendola Show. Matt Samuel is the head coach. And Matt, we will be talking with Mitchell Rome coming up here momentarily. But let's talk about some of the other guys this year. And again, a very successful season for Dallas. Of course, you guys are just so good year in and year out. You expect to be at the very top, and it gets tough. Everybody's fighting for the top dog, and you have years where there's injuries and different things going on. And let's talk about some of the other guys before we get to talk about what Mitchell has done.
Yeah, it's pretty. This is a different year for us. I mean, it's the first time in a long time where we've had some guys that have been forced into to some different roles there, and we've had some pretty solid boys teams over the last couple of years, and I think everybody was kind of licking their chops in order to kind of get at our guys this season, and it's a tough situation to throw these guys that really weren't counted on in the last couple of years, but we had such a large senior class last year, and a lot of those guys were members of two state title teams, and that's a pretty difficult situation. So especially when you're going up against teams like Holy Redeemer, they just have such a solid squad, and they've gone to the state championships twice and have been pretty solid for the last couple of years. So they've got a really good squad this year. So to have our guys kind of go up against those teams like Hazelton and Holy Redeemer is kind of a tall task, and this is the first time we've lost in a long time during this regular season. But we have some guys, and we're working out pretty hard, and I'm a taskmaster with that. So these guys like Brandon Fleshett, and we have a ninth grader, Ben Bradley, who's really stepping up, and some guys that were kind of in the shadows the last couple of years are now being called on to do some pretty heavy lifting. So we'll see what they're capable of doing at the district championships this week, and the expectations are pretty high, but they're attainable. So we'll see what we can do when it comes time for that.
Give us the introduction for Mitchell Rome here. And I remember just as a ninth grader, these years have flown by. As we get older, it always happens. But talk about what he has done.
Mitchell is obviously he comes from good lineage, but that's not the disrespect to actually what he's been able to do. He's just he's in a difficult situation as well. I mean, when you don't have people to train with, it makes it pretty tough to be a good distance runner. And the fortunate thing for him over the last couple of years is we've had some people like Jack Zardecki and Adam Borton and Josh Wyant, these guys to be able to run with and compete with on a daily basis that kind of makes you sharper. So what he's been able to do this year by himself and just, on his own on all these runs and in these workouts pretty much, by himself has just been pretty amazing. I mean, it's really neat to see like how he takes care of himself. I mean, he does the right things both in the sport and outside of the sport, takes care of himself. He's got good nutrition. He does all the right things. He's great in the classroom. He's a solid leader and a solid example of what a great athlete can be. I mean, it really takes very little coaching from Coach Samuel to help out Mitchell, just because he really does know what he's doing, and I rely on him. I actually talk to him quite a bit about how he's feeling and what he needs to do and what I can help him with. So that's a pretty unique situation, and he has all of my trust and confidence, and I just still see that the future is still pretty bright for him coming down the road.
Matt Samuel, always a pleasure to talk with you. We appreciate your time this morning.
No problem.
All right, let's get over to Mitchell Rome, who is a senior. And Mitchell, welcome into the show. And how you feeling right now? How's your season going for you?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. I think my season is going really well right now. Like at conferences, I probably felt the best I did all season. So I think these next two races at districts and states, I'm really looking forward to, because I hope I can do really well.
There's probably a lot of voices that you hear, your sisters, your mom. I'm sure your dad gets involved, and then you have your own mind. Then you got your coach. How do you kind of filter it all out and do the right thing? There's just been so much darn success that I guess they're probably all positive voices.
Yeah, I mean, they're mostly positive voices, honestly. I don't really try to get them up, because I think they're all kind of helping. Like, you were talking about my sisters and my moms. My mom were definitely like an inspiration to me to help to get me started to run and to definitely push me to run. And the last couple of years, they definitely helped me run harder and gave me something to push towards.
And sometimes people want to kind of branch off and do their own thing. Now that you're a senior, talk a little bit about being able to develop what you want to do and getting a little more strong minded and saying, here's what I want to do at this next step, and have a nice college career as well.
So I've been able to look into colleges now, and I've been looking at West Point and the Naval Academy. This year, I've been mainly training by myself, so that's a little hard, but it is nice to be able to train by yourself, because in a way, because you always get to handle what you want to do. But I guess I've been working really hard, and I guess that colleges I'm most looking into are definitely West Point and the Naval Academy.
Well, those are two pretty darn good choices. So that get into those, you got to be top notch. Obviously, you are top notch, so you're doing some great stuff. What do you envision in the next couple of weeks for yourself? Starting with the District 2 championships, there's going to be some good competition next week.
At districts, I know there's going to be there's going to be good competition, not just from our conference, also from the other conferences and the other conference in the district. But I'm hoping to win again. That'd be nice. And then a week and a half is we got states after, and I'm not completely sure where I want to be there, but I know there's going to be really tough competition. So like up near the front of the pack would be would feel really good for me. And then after states, I'll probably do Foot Locker down after Thanksgiving, but that's decently far away at this point, I guess.
Well, Mitchell Rome, we wish you the best of luck. We're rooting for you here in 2018 and making your mark, whether it's in the cross-country season or in the spring when track and field season comes upon us. So, and good luck with those couple of choices there on the college end, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mitchell Rome from Dallas area won the Wyoming Valley coaches meet the other day, getting prepared for districts next week, and hopefully that weather holds off for our area runners. Holy Redeemer, as Coach Samuel said, has had a very successful season in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and Abington Heights up on the other end of it, Paw Pack, teams like that, doing some good stuff there in the Lackawanna League. We come back, we're going to talk some soccer. We got Crestwood and Dallas coming on the show, and we'll talk a little bit about both of those teams. Let's take a time out, head out to our local State Farm insurance agent, Jeremy Baczynski. Break like a good neighbor. Jeremy Baczynski is there. We'll be back in WIOK.